Hey everyone, Caller here with Moletrap. This time we do not have SC2G Rise, but that is alright because we have here Luxury versus Leta, and this is the ace matchup of KTF versus OGN Sparkies. You, of course, have already hopefully watched the first match, which was Flash versus Challenge, and we're fast forwarded 4 games into the final match. I don't know what happens in the middle, neither does Moletrap. Maybe he does, but this is going to be interesting. Leta is definitely doing well this season in the Pro League. He's one of the new Terran players that everyone says is going to do well. Luxury, on the other hand, has been pretty much like not around this season. His brother Yellow Arnak is 10-4 right now, and he is only 7-7. I mean, not exactly not around, but certainly not making as big of a splash as his brother is. Leta, I think, right now is 10-4, so he is definitely in the top 10 right now of all Pro League players, whereas Luxury is somewhere down around 40 or so. But anyway, this is going to be an interesting matchup. Luxury, I still think, is a very strong Zerg. Maybe he's on a bit of a slump, but that's probably it, though. He's still, I think, stronger than his brother overall.
Yeah, Leta, he's a really kind of an interesting player. He was pretty mediocre, and I didn't really give him any credence at all. Up until last season, he just blew up and started destroying everything in Pro League. He was just playing really, really well, and he's basically the reason why OGN placed in the Pro League last season. Basically, he carried that team, basically, pretty much. And yeah, so he's been playing really well lately. Not as well this season, but still very strong and still one of OGN's core players, basically. And no, I do not want to update software right now. It's popping up while I'm looking at stats. Stats, actually, speaking of which, is the player that Leta played earlier in this set. And he very strongly won. And well, I guess you probably should have seen that before I said it. So sorry if I spoiled that for someone. But it was a really funny game. It was really close to the way that Leta Stats versus Mind the other day. And so that was a fun game. And Justin versus Firefist, I have not seen, though. So Luxury, probably kind of a sniper here. He did not play yet in this set. So he has probably practiced specifically for this matchup, specifically to be the ace. And Luxury, arguably, could be considered KTF's best player, considering that Luxury has been doing a little bit better lately in individual leagues than Flash has. But nonetheless, point being, Luxury, very, very strong player.
That's very debatable.
It's very, very arguable. I'm just saying. My point is that he's an extremely strong player and someone to look out for, and Leta's going to have his work cut out for him. So, anyway, Leta not able to block his door off, but Luxury leaves with his drone anyway. Looks like Luxury's gone for a 12 hatchery build. He's getting some gas now as well. So, yeah, be interesting to see what happens here. We can't quite tell exactly at this point. Wait, whoop, is Leta hiding an SCV? What do you think he's doing with that?
I have no idea. I think maybe he's just checking the back of his base. Well, no, never mind. He's not checking the back of anything. Factory. Yeah, I can't. He's making a hidden factory. Yeah, sorry. This thing gives me epilepsy, and it really doesn't help at all. Seriously. So we're seeing 2-hatch, most likely 2-hatch mutas here against Fast Factory. This is going to be interesting. Or, of course, it might not become 2-hatch mutas. Whoa, though. Luxury with a drone scout. No, it's a second expansion scout. Or rather, second expansion drone. So he is not going to be able to... Wait. No, it was a scout.
No, it was a scout.
It was a scout. It was a scout. All right. He owned me, and it is 2-hatch lair here. But what I was trying to say is it might not end up being mutas because he might end up getting owned by vultures and have to put down a Hydra's den. He has no idea this is coming, though, because of that nice Terran wall-in on destination. He has no way of finding out unless he gets some Zerglings to pressure the front. That is one way that Zerg can figure this out. And oh, we're going to see some starports here, probably 2-port rates from Leta. So this is definitely on the creative side here. And Luxury, unfortunately for him, he doesn't have the Zerglings out. He's been going for this kind of as many drones as possible off of the 2 hatcheries, because otherwise he's going to be a little bit behind. So he hasn't had Zerglings, and he hasn't had time to pressure, but he suspects something. He has to suspect something, or he just, maybe it's a standard because he has so few Zerglings. But my point is, what he could have done is attack the wall in and seen how many Marines there were, but he hasn't had a chance to do that because he has no Lings. And now the first Vulture is denying mining at his natural expansion.
Yeah, exactly. He wasn't able to pressure, but he must have suspected. Although I want, it's something I've actually been noticing recently that Zergs do put down that sunken colony a lot more lately. They used to not do it ever,
Right.
but I've been seeing a lot of Zergs doing that lately, just because this kind of build has become more prevalent and protect against scouting, getting in there, and that sort of thing. But even though he's trying to deal with these vultures right now, and he's not going to be
Oh,
prepared for raids. Although
one
I
goes
think
down.
one does go down, but he's still going to be able to stop him from mining there. But I think what Lita might have inadvertently done is forced Luxury to try and get some Hydralisks. I haven't seen a den yet,
But he
but if
hasn't.
he
No,
has,
no.
oh no, he hasn't. So never mind. But
Spire.
sometimes that
Yeah.
plays against them. Spire going down there. So, wow, this is just turned out to be an interesting game. The Vulture finally goes down, but Wraiths are on the way, and he has nothing to defend against these Wraiths. The Spire is not nearly finished. It's going to be a minute, so he's probably going to take out at least a couple Overlords before he's able to do anything.
Yeah, this is really bad for Luxury. Luxury already sending a bunch of Zerglings out, but that's useless. That is a complete wall-in on Destination. Luxury knows what's going on now. This is not the fantasy build, kids. This is straight up two-port rates. You've got to love it. Love it or hate it. I actually love it. I think it's a fun build, but it is definitely a tricky build because Luxury unprepared for this, but there's no cloak for upgrade for these rates going in. So this first Scourge are going to be able to deter these. We might see cloak afterwards. We might not see it. Usually when players go for it, they do go for the cloak though. So especially if they get 2 starports. So it's interesting that Lita's choosing not to get it. Of course, there's some specific reason for it. Looks like a spore colony is going to be going up, and maybe Lita just wants the extra resources to. I don't know, maybe get just a change tech quicker into Medic Marines or something like that. I assume he's going to be going Medic Marines after this, but this is going to be a really interesting transition here. He's getting a control tower now, a little bit late, but he's going to have to retreat these rates because he doesn't have cloak right now.
Oh wow, those 4 Marines are going to have to split their attention between protecting the raids and the front door, and Scourge going in there, not able to contact those raids, and the raids are going to take out those links, so nicely done. But yeah, I was a little bit worried about Lita's front door there for a minute because he only had a few Marines. Cloak is now upgrading. Yeah, I kind of thought he would go for that since he had actually built a couple more raids. He was kind of committed to that. But Luxury I think is the kind of player that is going to be able to deal with this. He's probably going to get some Overlord speed upgrade and be able to deal with this without too much of a problem in the long run. If they can get enough Overlords around and get some Scourge in the mix, it is possible for Zergs to deal with this. I'm really kind of surprised, actually, that Lita isn't trying to switch to a Medic Marine after this. Although he doesn't have an expansion,
Yeah, he's going... Right. No, he's going straight up here. There's nothing else in his base. This is going to be straight up old school Wraith style here. Boxer style here. Boxer, of course, watch him dance against the Wraiths. I mean, it's absolutely beautiful. Dance against Spore Colonies. He dances against anything. Basically, he's like Backhoe, except he actually dances in the game, which is a lot cooler than dancing in drag in real life. But Boxer's Wraith dancing, my point was, is beautiful, and we're going to see if Lita's is also beautiful. Lita, it looks like he's taking a few hits from the spores, Luxury pulling back, and this can go on forever if Lita doesn't, if Luxury doesn't get a good attack force and intercept here. Looks like he's going to intercept one, no Wraiths are uncloaked there, so he does have speed upgrade for his Overlords, so this is actually not bad at all. This is a good situation for Luxury. Normally the dance works really well if your opponent has Hydralisks and doesn't micro them well, but in this case Lita, of course, has Mutalisks and Scourge, and it looks like 1 Wraith already going down there for Lita, so maybe 5 or 6 Wraiths left. It's going to be a straight up dogfight though, and it's going to be really fun to watch.
This is going to be really interesting, and the Overlord's a little bit behind, but the thing is, Lita's had his forces cloaked. Oh, he might be able to snipe off. Oh my gosh! The Overlords are behind. They're not able to view. But the Scourge is running in there against the one uncloaked Wraith. It cloaks again, though. Oh. There's the Overlords. It's gonna have to run away. Nice dancing around. If he can take out those Overlords, he'll be golden. But he's just under so much pressure here. The Mutalisks and Scourge following around. Beautiful, beautiful micro by Lita, though, not getting hit by any of those Scourges. He's got another squad of Scourge to deal with, though. The Overlords are a little bit slower than the Mutalisks and the Raids, though, and that's what's causing Lita to stay in this fight.
Wow, did you see that Scourge sniping? I mean, he's playing like a Zerg there.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Really impressive. Actually, I'm wondering what he's grouping with the the rates, actually, yeah, they look stacked. Actually, I'm curious. Maybe he has a trapped SCV somewhere that he's using to group them. But definitely playing like a Zerg here. And looks like Luxury is actually going to switch over to Hydros. I guess he's had enough of fighting Terran Air here. I do think Terran Air is stronger if they really both just want to go for air. Terran Air is stronger with both people microing correctly. And we haven't seen, this is old school rates here. We're not seeing any Valkyries here, of course. Straight up rates, and still no other tech for Leta. But Leta's going to need some tech. He's going to need that transfer back to Medic Marines or maybe to Mech, although it's too late for that. I mean, he needs a transfer at some point, and he needs it soon because there will be Hydras coming up pretty soon, and rates are not that good against a lot of Hydras, and yeah, basically a lot of Hydras if that's all he has.
Yeah.
And he does have a lot of that, though. I mean, I don't know. I mean, we could be seeing something strange here. We'll have to see. Or something more strange.
Still just producing raids. Yeah. Now he's finally kind of making this slow switch back to M&M.
Yeah.
Which I think he realizes he's going to need in the long run. Like you said, if Hydras come out, it's just going to be too hard to deal with mass Hydras with just raids. Although Luxury's still at 2 bases, interestingly enough. Surprised he hasn't taken this lag to, when he was on the offensive to try and take another base. Maybe due to the fact that he doesn't really have a lot of economy. He's only got like maybe a dozen drones right now, so he may not have it in the bank to build another expansion. Wow, 4 drones going down, and like I said, that's like a third of Luxury's economy going down right there. He only has 2 hatcheries to try and replace it. So if Leta does any more harassment like that, I think Luxury is going to be in trouble. But it's I don't know. It's hard to tell with this kind of a strange game exactly what's going to happen here. That is a lot of Mulus, I have to say, though.
Yeah, I just wonder how comfortable Luxury is playing like it's 2001. He's in the role of yellow right now. He has to be NC yellow this game, and he has to figure out how to deal with this old school like control group of Wraith build. So it looks like his solution is to go for maybe a mixed Hydralisk Scourge Mulus thing, and we got a couple of Medic Marines, but it's going to be a lot more Medic Marines pretty soon. Leta's going to need to expand at some point, but the pressure is not that heavy on him. Luxury can expand because of all the rates. You were wondering why he couldn't. I mean, he has nothing to deal with the rates. He has a lot of mutas, but he can't put down spore colonies by themselves. Lurkers coming in the mix. Okay, so it wasn't for Hydralisks, it's for Lurkers. And I guess he anticipated the Medic Marine switch pretty well, because that one Lurker should be able to hold off that small group of Medic Marines, at least from doing any damage to the natural expansion, which I think Leta is hoping to be able to do, but that Sunken and that Lurker should be enough, and it might even be a trap, it might even be a stop Lurker, who knows.
No, it attacked the SCV that went in to try and scout. So
okay.
Leta knows it's there, and he does have scan, I believe, so he should be able to deal with this. But you're right, 2 Lurkers is going to stop that amount of Medic Marines from doing anything. At this point, those Medic Marines are just going to have to camp and be a fallback location for some extra defense for those raids when the Scourge come after him. But this is getting really crazy. I'm really enjoying seeing this back and forth with the Scourge and the raids and the Mutalisk trying to dance in and take hits and the raids. Like you said, he's playing like a Zerg. He's trying to get his controllable group of raids. He's dancing and trying to take hits and run back and that sort of thing. But it looks like it is going to transition into a more normal game from this point if the game goes longer. We've got Lurkers out. We've got Medic Marines out. So it's probably going to switch over. But if he can protect those raids, keep him around for the long game. Oh, the Overlord goes down completely out. No vision at all for those Mulus. Wow. Oh, there's another Overlord there. They're able to take out a couple there. That was close. But it looks like they're both just going at it actually. And Luxury, yeah, like you said, the Terran Air a little bit better in a straight up battle. Luxury's forced to fall back here, but some Lurkers coming in. Wow, this game is ridiculous.
Yeah, Leta only on 1 scanner, of course, so he's going to have to really conserve these scans for when the best time is. And Luxury is smart here. He's playing very smart. There's 1 scan, so maybe 1 scan left in the bank. Oh, no! The Lurker goes down right before it manages to get fully burrowed. So there goes the attack from Luxury, and Luxury is looking in big trouble right now. Leta looks like he's going to get up his natural unheated, and Luxury's Air Force basically went down there. The Wraith dancing is more effective than a Mulus dancing. I believe, I don't know about the range. I think Rates might have 1 grid more range than Mulus. It certainly seems that way to me, but Anyway, wow, just picking apart a couple more drones. And of course, with the advantage of having Cloak, you know, you can't always have the Overlords around, and sometimes you get killed off. And wow, just look at his dancing here, playing like a Zerg, like I said, and just picking off drones left and right. This is looking not good for Luxury. His economy is just way too damaged, and now Science Vessels are going to come out to pretty much finish off this game, I feel.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Once those vessels get out, I mean, look at this Luxury. He doesn't have enough forces to even deal with these raids. They're running around his base, if I may use the phrase, willy-nilly, and Luxury just doesn't have anything to really combat it. And he's got that nice group of medic marines to fall back to as well, so he can't even chase. He can't even give chase. Getting some more Hydras out, so yeah, Luxury. You're right. Once these vessels come out, and he's got his expansion going now. Luxury still at 2 bases. Still at 2 bases. I don't think he's going to be able to deal with this. But, you know, we've seen some pretty spectacular things out of Luxury before, so I'm not going to completely count him out yet. But not looking good for him either.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised he didn't build maybe, you know, 6 or 8 Hydralisks before he went for the Lurkers. He went straight for Lurkers. I think that was a mistake there. With those Hydras, he might have been able to set up another base using the Hydras as sort of a static kind of almost like mini turrets to deal with the raids. Hydras are really good against raids in significant numbers out in the open. They deal explosive damage, full damage to the raids, and they're so cost effective if, you know, especially if they're supported with some mutas, and that would have been able to give him an expansion, I think. But he went for the straight Lurkers. Lurkers are no help. I guess he was relying on his Mutalisks to get the job done against the Terran raids, and they didn't. Leta's dancing was just too good there, and now he's got a firm contain there. Leta looks like he doesn't even care. Look at him. He doesn't care. He's going to show off his Wraith Micro, pick off a lot of drones. He's willing to sacrifice Wraiths for drones at this point because his economy is doing great. Luxury's economy is doing terribly. Now a drop coming, and this is going to be so bad for Luxury.
Yeah, this is going to be basically the nail in the coffin when the drop comes in, because that was the only thing that Leta couldn't do was cross that bridge with those Lurkers there, and now he's going to be able to ferry his troops into his base. He's going to ferry all of his troops in there. This is it for Luxury, because those Lurkers on his ramp, on his bridge, were the only thing he had going for him, and now he's going to get, well, actually, he actually manages to take out most of those mech marines pretty well, but just Leta's all up in his base at this point. This is just getting ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean, the Lurkers are going to do something, but Medic Marines, just a few Medic Marines inside your base can be the biggest headache for a Zerg. Of course, for anyone who's played Zerg and gotten dropped before, Medic Marine just seem to last forever. But looks like these Marines are finally going to get... No, they're not even getting taken out. Wow, 2 Marines doing a tremendous amount of damage. Those Overlords might have drop, actually. So, yeah, we're going to see a Lurker drop. But I think this is going to be a little bit too little, too late. Oh, and the other Overlord may have contained things. I don't know if Leta's seen it. Okay, Leta's seen it. He's a programmer. Of course he sees these things. For me, I'd be like, I'm playing like 5 minutes later. I don't have any SCVs.
Yeah, 5 minutes later, I'd look back and be like, hey, what happened to my main? What's going on? Yeah, this is, at least Luxury is fighting back, and that's the only thing that he can really do to try and get back in this game is do little things like that. Wow, there's not...
Oh, he's gotten all the
raids going down. Yeah, was that all of his raids?
That was all the raids, man. Somehow Luxury managed to get enough of an army to do that. Oh, looks like the Science Vessel and the tank out, though. That's not good.
Yeah, that's not good. At least those raids are gone, and Luxury still has his front door sealed back up now. But again, Luxury at 2 bases. And, you know, Leta's got to have 3 times as many worker units.
Mining.
Oh, he doesn't even have anything mining in his main. What the heck? So Luxury, it looks like he might even be... I have no idea what he's exactly planning on doing here, except picking off this completely noob dropship. Man, oh man, this is crazy. I do want to point out real quick though that these guys are tied in the Pro League, or almost tied at the time of this game. So this is actually kind of an important game in the Pro League. So if Leta does manage to pull out this game, which it looks like he will, this is going to give OGN a definite advantage in getting that.
What is going on inside of his base?
Whoa! Medic SCV for the win!
Hydralisk.
Oh
what
my
the hell's going
God.
on? How did that I mean, SCV even get there? That is ridiculous. But Luxury looks like he's going to be doing more of a harass.
I have no idea.
Oh, he's got
Maybe it's
that
the SCV that was
lurker.
sneaking in the back of his base before. I don't know.
I don't know. Oh, Luxury gets to the chopper. By the way, that is from the movie Predator, and it goes exactly like
Oh
this.
man.
Arnold Schwarzenegger is yelling at this woman. He's like, "No!" Because she's trying to help him, and Predator's coming. He's like, "No! Go! Get to the chopper!"
Psionic Reaver does the best one of that. Oh man, a ton
Does.
of Overlords coming in here. Medic Brain slaughtering the Overlords. Everything trying to be dropped
Oh
out. This is
no!
last ditch by Luxury. This is all in last ditch.
Oh man!
What the heck is he thinking with a
JJ!
mass Hydra drop against Medic Marines? And Leta
Well, I
has
mean, at
taken
least
the
he went down
game.
fighting.
Yeah, he did go down
fighting.
fighting at least. He did go down fighting. Leta very, very excited. Leta basically not just winning the ace match. He got 2 of the 3 wins for his team in this match. So, you know, Leta carrying his team, not just symbolically in Pro League, but completely carrying this matchup. So, you know, maybe he is going to carry OGN to... They've got a little catching up to do, but, you know, he could carry OGN back into the top rankings this season again, especially with some of the better teams, SKT and MBC, not doing very well this season.
Good point there. Good point there. Maybe they KTF decided to give Flash a little bit of a break. Who knows? I mean, you can't use Flash for every single one of your ace matches. So Luxury, of course, is supposed to be the equivalent of Flash in terms of being really good. But Luxury has not been performing as well as Flash. Certainly, Flash is at the top of the heap right now. 13-4 is his ranking right now in the not his ranking, but his stats in the Pro League for the season. I mean, he's played more games than anyone, and he's I don't know if he's played more games. I think he's tied with the most games played by anyone, 17 games total. But certainly he has the best record of everyone by far. Next person's best at 12-5, which is a few slots below him. So, you know, I guess you can't use him in everyone though, because otherwise you'd have the repeat of this spring when he was just burned out and had giant bags under his eyes and was just, you know, looked like he was just gonna fall asleep every time he showed up at a match. But you know, Luxury showing that you know, I guess he just didn't transition well enough to deal with it. Basically, yeah, I mean, the rates just tore him apart, and he didn't have a good answer to them.
Yeah, I think it was just kind of all downhill from the Raves because he did decently well fighting off the you know, the Vultures, but you know, he just at that point he had nothing to deal with the Raves. The Raves picked off half of his economy before he got, you know, Scourge out to try and deal with that, and it was just all trying to play catch up from there on. And on 2 bases, it's really hard for the Zerg to catch up there. So, yeah. I'm surprised KTF is. I mean, Luxury is a good player. He's almost as good as Flash, in a lot of ways. Beat Flash in the OSL the previous season. I'm surprised KTF isn't doing better with kind of 2 big name players like that. But
Well,
we'll see.
that's all they got, though. I mean, the rest of their roster is pretty weak this season. They got Fire Fist at number 3 right now, and Fire Fist is he didn't make it out of the MSL even, the prelims. And then they got
stats.
And they got stats down there, yeah. And they got Zerg Boy, the other one. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Flash carried KTF to nearly the 4th place last season by himself, so that's why I was kind of hoping that he and Luxury together could do more. But
right, because they'd have a second player. Whatever happened to Lucifer? Guy was supposed to be like the new Protoss, but then he kind of fizzled out.
They haven't been playing him much. He's still a decent player, but they haven't played him much, so he must be stucking in practice or something.
Yeah. All right, well, that's pretty much it. Oh, yeah, by the way, random note, Bisu and Stork met for, like, the first time outside of playing a few days ago.
Yeah.
Evidently, they're so busy practicing, they can't even meet each other. So they met each other, took a lot of pictures. We're all happy. But Stork was also talking about how he's always feared playing Jangbi. Jangbi, of course,
yeah, that was interesting.
Really play him, but that was really interesting to see that, you know, Jangbi is supposedly much better than Stork in at least in the Samsung Con team. And Stork was like, I was like 50-0 versus him or something like that for a while.
He said he could never win a game against Jangbi, and then now he's finally brought it up to about 50-50.
Okay, yeah. That is really interesting. Random tidbit that Jangbi is supposedly better than Stork in their practices.
Well, I think that's about it. Thanks for listening.
Yep. Thanks for watching, guys. GG's.